Hi everyone, my name is Sophie Daniels and I'm the Head of Songwriting at ICMP, and I also run the Master's Programme in Songwriting. I and my Master's students wanted to share some of our thoughts and tips around creative process for songwriting with you. And in order to do that, we have asked ourselves three particular questions about our songwriting to share with you, in the hope that that might be of interest for you when you come to coming up with ideas for your own songs. So the first question is, how do you get started? So for me, getting started writing a song is sometimes about sitting here at the piano and just playing around with chords or melody ideas, but more often it's about lyrical ideas, starting with lyrical ideas that give me the idea for something I want to write. And those ideas will come to me when I'm out for a walk or when I'm out for a run. Often they come to me when I'm not thinking about songwriting. So that might be when I'm reading a novel or watching a film or having a conversation with a friend. And so I always make sure that I've got a little book handy for me to capture those ideas in. And I would really recommend that you do that. I'd really recommend buying a nice little book that you can keep about your person, so that whenever you have an idea or you come across a saying or a word, or you might overhear a conversation on the bus, or when you're just walking down the street and you think, that's interesting, that's an interesting way to say something. Normally that interest is linked to something that you might want to write a song about. So capture every one of those ideas in that little book. Write in that book anything and everything that you think is interesting. No one else other than you ever needs to look in that little book. So it doesn't matter if when you go back to it you disregard some of the ideas. You've always got that book as a little rich mine of ideas that you can use to start writing your songs. Second question is, what do you do if you get stuck? Well, I don't really like the term writer's block. I think that for everybody, there are times when you're writing a song and you come to a point where you stop and you don't know how to carry on, or you don't know whether, as well as how, to develop the song further. Now, for me, the way that I would approach that would be to move away from the song, literally and creatively. I would have a break in the session, make a cup of tea, or I would go for a walk, or I would move on to a different idea. And that doesn't mean that you have to throw away that song idea. It just means it's put on a shelf for something else. And often it means that you're just leaving that song to germinate. The ideas are often little seeds that need to germinate in your brain. But sometimes seeds do not grow and flower. They don't go any further, and that's okay too. And I think if, rather than thinking about getting stuck or having a block, we think, I've stopped on that song, I'm on to this one, that one's on hold, let's see if it flowers later or not. It doesn't really matter. And what do you write about? Everybody is an individual, and for me, songwriting is about sharing a personal story, and my key area of interest is about human relationships and about the everyday. We are all individual, we all have common ground, but also we're all extraordinary, and I think it's really interesting for us to tell our own stories. And for me, when I write about my own stories of human relationships, that's about being a woman, that's about being a mother, that's about the life that I have led. And I think every songwriter has a valid story to tell about who they are, what made them who they are, and how they see the world. And like I said, for me, that's about love, and it's about interaction with other human beings, and those maybe quite ordinary stories, and stories that maybe don't normally get told about, for example, about motherhood. And my last project, Liberty's Mother, was all about that. Okay, so now I would like to hear from some of the master students on the same topic.